morning, everybody. This is December the 31st, New Year's Eve, 2022, and I wanted to take you along for what we do today. Not really any super big plans yet, but it's the last day of 2022. Tomorrow begins 2023, and like all people out there, I think I'm going along with the new year, new me-ish. So I have some resolutions and goals, and I thought I would just film my last day of the old me. Even though that's kind of silly. I don't know if anyone ever really sticks to their goals. But I just finished my morning chores, and I forgot to film it, but no one's interested in that anyway. I got up about 20 after 7. I slept in. I woke up at 7 like usual, and Abra was still asleep on the floor, and I didn't want to wake her up yet. So I doom scrolled until she woke up about 7:20. Took her out to pee, emptied the dishwasher. It's Saturday, so I started kombucha. I just washed my face, so it's kind of red and angry. And now I'm gonna do about 10 minutes of quick cleanup around the house while I wait for Michael to get home from the gym, and then we'll start our day together. So I hope you enjoy this vlog. I forgot to take a before picture, but and I'm not done yet, but I'm working on it. My 10 minutes of clean for today was to make our front door look nicer. Good morning. I have never cleaned this door since we moved in about 9 months ago. And I just noticed yesterday, I wish I'd taken it before, this was completely black. All this metal, completely black with like mildew. So today for 10 minutes I have spent cleaning the inside of this door. I have not done the glass yet. I'm just trying to still get all the mildew out of all the cracks, but it'll look much nicer when I'm done, and that's my little project for today. I really had just never even noticed it. Like having a door that is outside all the time is new. I've never lived anywhere where I have an outside door like this. So I never even noticed it. It had just gotten bad little by little. And then I mean, look at this. I never even noticed that. I can't believe I didn't see it. So the whole door looked like this. So one of the things I am trying to do is spend 10 minutes a day cleaning something that might kind of have gotten overlooked in the month of January, like I guess a spring cleaning, if you will. Today it's this door. So I need to go get some more cleaning supplies. That for a minute. I was just trying to show what I'm decluttering today. I have a goal of 31 things in January to donate mostly. Most of it's not stuff that needs to be thrown away, but just downsize and declutter. So, but somebody needs to go outside. I want to talk about these. I saw a sponsored ad on Instagram for these chews. I think I want to say there's 90 of them in here. Yeah, 90 soft chews. And on the back, it tells you your dog's weight and how many to give them. For her weight at 25 pounds, it's 1 chew a day. But I saw this sponsored ad on Instagram, and it was talking about dogs who lick their paws. Lick their paws, scratch a lot, dig their face into the carpet, those kinds of things. And I thought, you know, it would go in her Christmas present. Why not get them for her? So we bought them. We just started them on Monday, and by Wednesday she has completely stopped licking her paws. She barely scratches anymore. She only throws her face in the carpet after she drinks water, which for her is like her napkin. But she has like completely stopped all the symptoms within a couple days of starting these chews. I know they've got like bee pollen, is it pollen in them, colostrum. They're supposed to be natural. I showed them to Michael. He said he thought the ingredients sounded safe. And we had, before this, we had tried giving her Zyrtec. That didn't help. She'd had Benadryl. That didn't help. I really think these chews might be onto something. They seem to be awesome and are helping her a lot. So full review coming after 90 days maybe, but right now I can say for her, they are working great. And if anybody has a dog with those types of like dermatitis reactions, where are we going, baby? Then maybe you ought to look into these. I think the brand is Finn. Yeah, just a random add to cart and check out that I saw on Instagram. I will say they have caused her to have to go to the bathroom quite a bit more than she used to. It's not runny or liquid like diarrhea, but frequently. She used to be twice in the morning and she was done for the day. And ever since we started these chews, it's sometimes 2 to 3 piles in the morning and 1 pile every afternoon. So it's increased the frequency, but it all looks like well-formed poop. It looks healthy. There's nothing, you know, to make me worried that she's getting dehydrated or anything. It just seems like she poops a little more frequently on this pill, but it seems to be helping all of her symptoms.
Good morning, guys. Happy New Year. It is New Year's Eve. We just finished 2 hours at the gym. It's a little after 8 o'clock. We did some strength training, mostly strength training, with 25 minutes on the stairs. Had a high pace, so headed back to get Jules and the pup. We are going to spend the day, or at least the afternoon, at the beach. Today's the first day after the winter storm that brought cool air, very cool air for Florida down here over the last week. Today's the first day it's going to top 80 degrees, and so we decided last night that we would head out mid-morning to the beach to see, see what it's doing. We've been hearing the ocean extremely loud. We live about 1,000 feet from the beach, but it sounds like traffic the last couple of nights. So the waves are up, and we're going to go hang out there today, and then the rest of the day it's kind of low-key. We'll probably go eat at a we'll just say restaurant that serves steak, maybe not a steak house per se, but have a carnivore dinner, and we'll probably be in bed before the ball drops. But we typically don't really do a whole lot on New Year's Eve, but today we thought if we're down in Florida and it's going to be warm enough, we'll go to the beach and at least start the day there after the gym. So I think Julie's been walking the pup for the last several minutes, and yeah, that's about it for me this morning. Just trying to get back, and again, focusing on strength training at the gym for right now. But we do have a race coming up in January. I'll talk about that on my own vlog to go back through our running routine in the new year. But yeah, pulling in now. Come with us today. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful day, and see what's going on down here in sunny Melbourne, Florida. All right, guys. See you soon.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Did you tell him what we're doing today?
Yeah, I told him I was coming back to get you and that we were going to head.
Oops,
and of course, he's walking all around. We were heading back to get Jules and the pup, and we were walking across the street to the beach. I was telling him how loud the waves
every
had
night.
been.
When I take Abra out before bed, maybe like 9, 10 o'clock-ish, the waves are so loud we can hear them from our house.
I told him it sounds like traffic.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over...
What's the temperature?
Oh, temperature right now is only 68, but if you guys can see, the sun is out. I think visibility is like 7 miles, which is not great for this area of Florida this time of year, but like we said, you know, that cold front is still kind of moving, and there's rain in Jacksonville, severe storms in Jacksonville.
You know, it felt kind of muggy and cloudy and misty when I got up with her.
But it feels hot today, and this is the first day that in the morning it's felt hot, even though it's only 68.
It's about 9 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
It's about 9 o'clock, and what temperature?
It's 68.
68.
But it probably feels 73, 74.
It's supposed to be 78 by 10. So.
Yeah, So we are going to go check out the beach, see what kind of erosion we might have. We've not been over here, I don't think, since the hurricane, have we? To check out.
We've just been busy with the holidays.
Yeah.
We haven't made it to the beach, and that's so tragic. This will be our first time in a few months now.
A few months, yeah. But we're going to check it out. We'll bring you along, and we will show you while we play with the pup by the water. See you in a bit. So here we go to our beach access. Jules and Abra is in. Uh-oh. Something is blocking the beach. What is this about, babe?
They never reopened this beach access. I don't know why.
Oh, they never reopened after the hurricane? I guess we're going to have to go down to the dog park, aren't we? I mean, the dog access. Beautiful morning, though.
Look at this.
Yeah. Hope you guys can hear the ocean. Tide's not really up, but they're coming in fast. Oh, Abra wants to be out there. We got to go find
it. Let's take her to the dog.
Yeah. All right, so
Canova Beach dog access.
we are at the dog access now, which is what, half a block away? I don't even know if it's 500 feet away. This one's open. Abra's ready.
Look, isn't that stunning?
Oh yeah, it's a lot prettier than the access we were just trying to get to.
I love how it looks going through.
Yeah, the shade, and it just opens up, you know. So we were talking about erosion, but there's whatever happened at the hurricane has been fixed, hasn't it?
We just got so busy, we never came back to check on it.
Yeah, I know, the holidays happened and we just kind of rolled with it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, here we go. She's going to get a bath today after we finish at the beach. I'm glad her hair's short. Are you excited?
Are you happy? Nope.
Bye-bye. So we're trying to figure out if this is all erosion, because suddenly, right here on this part of the beach, we've got rock.
Was it always here and exposed?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't exposed. So
what I'm saying is, did this wash up, or was this under sand and now it's been
right?
rooted
Yeah,
out?
that's probably what happened. I'm showing my ignorance, not knowing.
We're new to Florida.
Still being new
We
to
don't know these kinds of things. We need to look them up.
Yeah. Is that rock or sand, babe?
I don't know. It's not.
Abra's gonna check it out.
It would be slippery.
Not slippery? Yeah. Weird. So we found another ramp that I guess was destroyed during the hurricane. You can see, oh, sorry, about ran into Julie. They've cut the stumps where the ramp originally came down straight to the sand. But if we walk up, you can clearly see they've taken several feet of the ramp out, which is sad because this is the only handicap access, I believe, on this stretch of beach. And so it's still not been repaired yet. But you can see it's all the way destroyed until you get up to this first level. So they still got a lot of work to do here. And then again, we've got the bank is what, Jules? 7, 8 feet
We don't know what that
tall?
was doing before.
Right, we're not sure.
We need to look this up.
Yeah. And then if you look over here at this beach access, which is the one we came down, that's all new wood. So that had to be replaced as well. So I'm assuming that's why our original point, which was a little bit further on there, was closed whenever we first showed up this morning. You see how close we have access to the beach, but they're still making repairs. So what's really neat about this beach access and the dog beach part is that we have an area to clean Abra off. So not just rinse the sand out, but we're actually giving her a bath. And so we're getting ready to finish that up, and then I will carry her back since we're not too far from our house. So she doesn't get any dirtier or any more sand on her feet. Yep, she hates it.
What we got here?
Who's clean? Who's mad?
Wrapped in swaddling
mad
clothes.
And clean.
All right, we're gonna walk her home in a towel.
And then we'll get cleaned up.
And then we'll get cleaned up, yeah. Back from the beach, out of the shower, brushed my hair, got to practice flute for a little while. I think Michael is talking to his mom and getting our vlog prepared. I have no idea what he's up to right now, but I'm going to knock out some of the things I was supposed to practice this week and then didn't get around to practicing. We were traveling, last weekend was the weekend of Christmas, and I came home feeling a little bit under the weather and got way behind on my flute practice because I just didn't feel like blowing into the flute and making my cold symptoms feel a little bit worse. So now I'm playing catch up, so I've got to do all of my scales that I didn't do this week, and that's where I'll be at for a little bit. I took a little flute practice break, and what have we got going on out here?
We've got a nap that's been going on for well over an hour.
This one is pretty wiped out after her big beach morning and her big bath, huh?
Yeah, that's the most action she's had in a long time.
In a while,
Probably
yeah.
Since summer.
Playing that hard with other people. Well, other than, you know, daycare, when we take her to puppy daycare.
Yeah. And
so you're just relaxing and reading?
I am reading, yeah. Jennifer McCann, Burntown. Burntown, yeah.
Show me those stickers on your Kindle.
Oh, yeah.
Which Kindle is this?
This is The Oasis. So this is a quote by Stephen King. His book on writing. Books are a uniquely portable magic.
Which Julie, I think is really funny because it's on a Kindle, which is a super portable.
Yeah, Julie originally got me this sticker, and I had to update it, taking it to the pool so much. So I got one here, and then, of course, Stranger Things, the Hellfire Club from this season. I got another clear sticker on the back. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, y'all enjoy your afternoon. I'm going to go practice some more.
Are you? Okay. You getting hungry?
Not too bad. How about you?
I'm going to have a snack.
You want a snack? What do you want?
I'm not sure. I think I'm going to make a pizza.
One of those little, okay.
The little cheese flats and some pepperoni. Yeah.
Sounds
and then we're going to
delicious.
make our cheesecake, right? We're
going to make another cheesecake again today for me to take to work. And it's a holiday, so we always have cheesecake on holidays.
Yeah. So here is my cheese pizza. Again, just one of the cheese flat outs, mozzarella. 1 serving of uncured raw pepperoni, which was 15 slices. And then 1/4 of a cup of cheddar cheese on top. Baked it on broil just until it gets brown, and then I turned it once more to get it brown on the other side. So I will have this as a snack, finishing up our cheesecake mix, and that's going to go into the oven next. I was also thinking you might want to know the macros. About 440 calories, 24 protein, one carb in this. So this will help me get over this midday hump here after working out this morning until Jules and I go eat steak later.
Abby, what you got? What you got? What are we doing?
Technically, we're doing work so I get my merit increase by the first check of January, and didn't realize...
They waited till the 31st to remind you.
No. It wasn't on purpose. He was reviewing it because it's supposed to go live tomorrow, and he's like, Michael, I still don't have it. I was like, but I sent this to you. He's like, yeah, you sent that part that goes to Austria, where the international headquarters is, but you didn't do the North American part.
Oops.
And since I report to both...
So guess who's working a little bit on a holiday Saturday?
I'm almost done.
Holiday
but
Saturday.
To get the pay increase, I'll do a couple minutes of work.
So we're on our way to dinner.
Steak.
We decided to eat out to celebrate since it's New Year's Eve. And Melbourne has kind of limited options for steakhouses.
Which is why we usually cook steaks at home.
Yeah, plenty of burger options, but not that many steak places. And the extra layer is, I like prime rib, and that's my favorite steak. If I'm going to eat out, I want a prime rib, and most of the steakhouses down here actually don't have prime rib on the menu. There are very few. Even
more rare to find.
So we kind of narrowed it down to, number one, there are most places are requiring reservations today. So the couple of the steakhouses that did have prime rib, we couldn't get a reservation. They were all booked up. That left us with two choices, Texas Roadhouse and Outback Steakhouse.
Sounds like poor planning, but it really wasn't.
We're just kind of winging.
We weren't sure if we wanted to cook or if we wanted to go out.
We have food at home to cook. We just weren't excited about making it. We just felt like eating out. So,
but we picked Outback because we know that they are, I guess, one of few steakhouses that actually use butter to cook their steaks. Julie can get her prime rib as rare as she wants it. I don't really know what we're going to do for a side.
We've talked about this because Michael is animal-based and I'm more carnivore. But a sweet potato, as far as if you're looking at toxicity level, would be we call it medium. We're trying to decide if we want to do a side of a sweet potato or just no sides. And we're talking about it on the drive up here because I don't think either one of us know, right?
Yeah, Outback also has, because they give you two sides, they also have a chili that has no beans in it, but there's tomato sauce in it.
Yeah.
So then that one is supposed to be on the high toxicity level. So yeah, we're trying to decide, but we know we didn't want to cook. We just wanted to relax and go out. And so this is what we're going to go do.
Usually we really prefer the types of steakhouses where it's a la carte and you can just order exactly what you want and it doesn't automatically come with things, because it does make it a kind of a conundrum when you're en route trying to decide, well, what are you, so you're paying for the sides, you have to take them, so what are you going to get?
And that's not being elitist. You said that and I thought a second, I think, well, the steakhouses that do a la carte are high, but they allow you. Julie can ask for how many ever ounces of the meat that she wants, and if she just wants the meat and nothing else, it's a lot different story than ordering.
I always ask for a 20-ounce steak, and most of the cuts, when you look at them on the menu, are like 8 ounces, 12 ounces, or 16 ounces.
Yeah, that's about it.
So I always tell them I'm upcharging by the ounce, and oftentimes the server will say, I don't think we do that, and all you have to say is be nice about it and say, well, ask the cook or the butcher or the manager, because steakhouses will do that for you. They will cut it in price, market price by the ounce. So a lot of times your server, your waiter does not know that they do that, because it's an uncommon question from people eating there. But if you talk to the right person respectfully and nicely, that they will do that for you. And any fine or nice or even chain, in this case, steakhouse.
So we end up looking like the weirdos because they bring the bread, we eat the butter.
We've
had people ask us before, where did the butter go? Well, it went in our bellies, but the bread didn't. And we asked for larger cuts of meat and no seasoning. The only thing that I do like to add to my steak, if it's available, are blue cheese crumbles. I love the way that tastes on that, you know, on the outer
No
edge
steak
of
sauce.
the
We
char-
don't use
yeah,
any
no,
steak
gosh,
sauce.
no. And Julie will salt
I
it
salt
to pieces.
Pepper is something I'm not really supposed to eat, although I do. But occasionally I'll put a little pepper on my steak, but I always heavily salt it. And if there's extra butter on the table and the steak's warm enough to melt it a little bit, I'll just go ahead and, you know, fill in the crevices with some butter. So
I know that sounds crazy if it's warm enough to melt it, but she will get it as cool as they'll make it.
I asked them to make my prime rib as rare as they will legally be allowed to serve it to me. And it's one more reason why
she's not got sick yet.
You see why we don't eat out a lot, because we look like the weirdos.
Very particular, yeah. But we didn't want to go to Orlando. We talked about going to Orlando, which is the largest city near us.
There's plenty of great places to eat in Orlando.
We have traveled enough. We just wanted a relaxing evening. And I don't even know if we're going to watch the ball drop, but we want to at least watch some of the festivities because we were just there in Times Square last week. So yeah, we thought we would go out a little bit earlier before all the crowds, and this was, I guess, our best option locally.
There was just no getting in on the wait list on any of the kind of indie
understandable, but
restaurants.
yeah, they don't open until 4 or 5. The restaurants that we did find at certain
It's about
prime rib here.
3. It's almost 3:30.
Yeah, almost 3:30.
We haven't eaten. Well, he had his pizza.
I did have my pizza snack.
So we haven't eaten yet. We're getting really hungry. So Outback is what we've decided to do for today. And you know, I really would like to start eating out more though, and showcasing how to go out to eat and be carnivore. That's something we've talked about doing. Maybe in the new year we need to try that a little more often. And
it seems tough on the surface because when we did start this, we were not people who cooked at home unless I baked something.
You mean when we started the carnivore diet?
Before we didn't really cook a whole lot at home.
We never cooked at home.
We both, you know, came from work environments that wasn't really the best possible solution, honestly, after working the hours that we did. So anyway, we bonded over that. We bonded over only eating once a day because, again, our jobs just kind of lended itself to that. But we made an effort, a big effort, especially for Julie, who, when I first met her, her refrigerator was completely empty, like no joke.
I ate out all the time.
There was ice in the ice machine.
I thought I was making the healthiest
and
decisions
baking soda.
of the places that I went out to eat. I mean, I wasn't eating like fast food or junk food, but I had no food in my house.
You never ate junk food.
I've never been a junk food eater, or I've never been a snacker. But I was eating out all of my meals, and I thought I was eating healthy. And then in January of 2022 is when he and I went carnivore. And suddenly eating out was just, the options are so extremely limited. It became so much easier to just cook at home. So we eat at home a lot. How many times do you think we ate out in 2022 that weren't vacations? I would say less than 20.
Oh gosh, yeah, for sure. Because you got to remember, we moved down here in March, and the only thing we were really doing was having the cheat day on Saturday with the pizza once we found a good pizza spot. Unless it was a burger, but you were even getting your burgers on cheat days without the buns. So, but yeah, we made a big effort. But now, in all honesty, right, and I think everyone on here can understand that, I would say it's a push with the price of meat and the inflation overall. It's really, you have to kind of decide the time, the effort, and the money spent on the same number of ounces that Julie wants to eat or that I want to eat in a steak, or even if it's chicken for me. It's becoming cheaper to go to the Roadhouse, the Outback, the Longhorn, these mid-sized, mid-level steakhouses, because they buy in so much bulk, they get price cuts. And so anyway, this is a little treat that we wanted to go out tonight.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I really enjoy eating out, so we'll let you know how it is. Here's our options. Prime rib here is dinner on weekdays and all day on weekends. You have to be aware because prime rib isn't necessarily every hour that any restaurant is open. And I like mine as rare as it gets, right?
So we just ordered. They did cut Julie a 20-ounce prime rib, slow roasted. And what did you get? You had a sweet potato.
I did. I decided to go ahead and do the sweet potato
regular butter
with regular butter
and cinnamon only. No marshmallow or something
cinnamon
that they
sugar.
do here. Yeah. I did a 15-ounce ribeye. So the other cuts of meat, they can't custom cut. So everything was already pre-cut. And
Some of the other cuts they can. Some they can, some they can't.
Okay, so yeah, I was deciding between a sirloin and a ribeye. So I got the 15-ounce ribeye, fattier. And my side, I got the sweet potato because there was a rice pilaf. It was white rice, which is good. It's even a little better on the scale than the sweet potato is, but it was made with onions, green and red peppers. So that was a kind of a no-go for us.
Yeah.
So I got it the same way that Julie did, and we'll show you as soon as it gets here.
Oh, and you got the chili, right?
Oh yeah, I did get the chili. So I guess I did sort of kind of cheat with the meat.
Your cheat is a chili, and my cheat is a sweet potato. It's
right?
Not,
yeah.
It's not the worst.
No.
Oh boy, how's it look?
That's big for a 15-ounce prime rib or a ribeye.
Anybody want to see my 20 ounce?
No,
I'm gonna put my thumbs up in the. Look at the size of my 20 ounce, and I have big.
We'll do how thick is it? You know,
it's
got to be 2.
It's about 2 inches thick. I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon. I'm so excited about this. And here's my sweet potato. We'll see how much of that I can do. Absolutely delicious. So good.
I'm not full.
I did not. He doesn't get full quite like I do. I didn't want to take a picture of my plate and the food I had eaten, but I ate the entire 20-ounce steak except for
the edges
on prime rib that's been seasoned heavily. I cut the rim off because I don't really know what the seasonings are. It's usually like an onion powder and pepper. So I just cut a very skinny strip of the entire rim off. My pup gets that. And then other than that, that steak had to be well more than 20 ounces because I can eat a 20-ounce steak and still feel hungry. And I had 4 bites of my sweet potato. I didn't want to show a picture of it because it's gross, but I had 4 bites of the sweet potato, which is the first time I've had carbs all week, I think, other than in kombucha. Yeah.
But those are fruit juice, so you're still animal based with the
sweet potatoes are like in a medium, kind of a gray area if you are an animal based person.
If tolerated, and our bellies tolerate it.
Yeah, I can tolerate them fine. I love sweet potatoes. So to me, it's not like a no would be tomatoes or peppers. I know pepper, but peppers, the actual vegetables, but sweet potatoes are kind of a gray area. So I had 4 bites of it. It was delicious. And then you ate
15 ounces. A lot of my ribeye. I say a lot because Julie knows I don't really eat the fat.
Yeah.
And I know that ribeye is a fattier meat. And she, until last year, she knew me only to eat steak rarely, and it had to be New York strip. It had to be the leanest fat, and the what do you say? The I'm trying to think of how to describe how New York strip tastes. It's a little bland, honestly. It is. And over the course of the year,
you gotta have that fatty meat to have a good taste.
I started believing and realizing you do have to have the fat to bring all of it together. So much to like Julie said, on mine I had one little rim of an edge that I did cut off. I don't even know if it was in half an ounce of that 15-ounce steak, but I cut it off. We'll give it to Abra as well. That was pure fat. But if it had any meat on it, even if the other side of the cut piece was fat, I ate it. It was great. I had 2 bites, only 2 bites of the sweet potato because I did have the pizza for the snack earlier today. Oh, that's right. I did.
I did eat the chili.
No, I didn't, but I know it had tomatoes in it. But to be honest, I wanted a little bit more, and it didn't have beans in it. It was all meat. They used sirloin meat there, and there was nothing artificial. There wasn't sugar added to it. So that was my meal.
This was an absolutely delicious last meal of 2022.
It was, and we even figured out today with the 2 sides you get at Outback, because we found out how much they charge per ounce, that we come out ahead if we compare it to just going to a Publix or going to a Winn-Dixie or a supermarket and getting
the same cut of meat, which, by the way, we are just not anywhere near as good at cooking ourselves at home.
No.
It's actually not that big of a savings to buy right now in the economy the way it is right now. It's just not that big of a savings to buy our own meat and make it at home. Considering the fact that here it comes with 2 sides, which granted we don't really want, but we don't have the choice of we could just refuse them, but it doesn't change the price any.
No.
And you have a waitress, and you get to sit down and enjoy your meal a little more than
and it's cooked much better than what I can currently cook it. You don't have to
clean it up. Yeah, so it pays off. To eat out once in a while.
It wouldn't if we were getting chicken.
Yeah.
It would really only work it.
Barely don't really ever eat pork except bacon.
Rarely anything outside of bacon, yeah. And even when we do the bacon, it's the raw, uncured, without the nitrates and the preservatives, and it's supposed to be the grain-free, you know, not being fed corn or soy. So we've also found a really good egg source now, too. So we're starting to see more, in our supermarkets at least. In Charlotte, they were all over the place already, but down here where we are in Florida, a little bit more variability, if you will, a little bit more choice when it comes to things like the cage-free, totally grain-free, you know, foraging types of animals. But yeah, like Jules said, I don't know when the last time was we had pork that wasn't bacon, and even bacon is, it's rare, definitely rare for you.
I had one pork chop in all of 2022.
Yeah, that's right. And
it wasn't good.
And it was,
I made it myself.
You did. You got it cut. Wasn't that the one you got? Anyway, I have bacon a little more often than Julie does, but again, it's become more rare over the course of 2022 as well.
Pepperonis. That's about it.
Yes.
I don't know what pepperonis are made of. I honestly don't.
It's the ones we get is supposed to be nothing but beef.
Oh, okay.
Uncured. Yeah.
I don't really eat pepperoni.
You don't? No.
On anything.
I started 2022 like Jules did, and we need to get our cutting boards again because we ate through them so much we didn't move them.
We used to have cutting board plates. You could just use a steak knife and cut right off of your cutting.
And I'd have my 4 burgers, so my 16 ounces of meat, side of my cheese, and then Julie finally started adding in some eggs because I was telling her, I was like, this is bland. I was getting tired of chewing, and it was like, it's not tasting like anything. And so that's when I did begin to add some bacon and pepperoni and eggs. And so going through, you learn, but I've pulled back on that. Eggs have become more of a source for us to grab rather than bacon. And then, of course, Jules has almost completely cut out cheese just because she's not craving it. I have not. I still
was
love
never
my
on a
cheese.
mission to cut it out.
No, right. I know.
I kind of go through phases where I want eggs every day, and then I get sick of them, and I want bacon every day, and I get sick of them.
Yeah.
And then I get sick of the bacon, but I want the eggs again. Yeah. And then I'll get sick of the eggs, and I want pepperoni. I'm just in a phase right now where I'm not eating anything but meat. Really, I'm eating meat and bone broth.
As we do, I guess we're doing this is more like a little bit of a year in review. The one food that I'm surprised that we have not craved more of or sought out more over this year of doing the carnivore diet, and pieces of animal, but staying there. Julie knows this, based on my activity level, we'll move from carnivore to animal to even paleo sometimes and back and forth. But paleo without any of the vegetables. Avocados. They're completely fine on animal-based. Julie would eat avocados like I eat apples or bananas. When I first met her, all the way up until we started carnivore. And again, that's one of those foods that I know we've used it occasionally, but she would make this almost like this hash type of just eggs, boiled eggs and avocado,
delicious.
Salt and pepper and even a little bit of sour cream sometimes, kind of bind it all together. And we'd put those in like these roll-ups that were just unbelievable. And just some of our favorite things, it's not that you miss them, you just stop craving them, Okay.
Before Michael and I went carnivore, which was in January 2022, we ate out all of the time. I think we've already talked about that. Every single meal we ate out. Not necessarily expensive places or nice places, but we did all of our eating out. Yeah. However, when we went carnivore and the options were so severely limited, which forced us to start cooking at home, we have just sort of forgotten about things that we used to love and used to like, and the cravings, they do go away. But I tell you what I don't miss. I don't miss the whole, hey, what do you want for dinner today? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. Where do you want to go? Like, I don't miss that at all, because that's never an issue when you go carnivore. We go to the store, we both go to the back of where the meat is. We browse around to see what's on sale, what looks good, and then we leave. Like, there's never, ever, ever a discussion. This trying to pick a steakhouse tonight was the first time we've had a discussion about what or where to eat in 12 months, and I have not missed that argument at all.
No, I agree, and it was more about me, probably more than I should have, obsessing over, I want to make sure that Julie's in the mood for the same type of food that I may be in the mood for, when in all actuality she's just wanting to please me just as much as I am her. And so we go this back and forth because we were strict OMADs. If nothing else, it was one meal.
Libra,
we wouldn't cry.
Aquarius. Can't make a decision, wants to please everyone.
Right? It's crazy. But no, going back to what you were saying with missing foods, this is going to be a big statement, especially if anybody in the family watches this. But I think if Julie and I did not have people in our world, because we love our family, but if we didn't have people that we needed to please, and I mean to the point of whatever you want, we will eat when we go and visit you, even if that is ice cream and, at Granny's house type of a thing, or my mom when we were in New York, I don't know that you and I would really fall off of the wagon. I really don't.
Since we live in Florida, and honestly, we don't know very many people down here, and the people we do know down here, we have set the standard. This is how we live. This is what we eat. So
we don't get invited to dinner too much.
Whenever we travel home to North Carolina, which is not often, Michael still works from North Carolina, so most of our trips home would be like a business trip, and then I tag along. We're not home in North Carolina often, so if we're lucky enough to be able to spend time with our North Carolina friends or family, we eat whatever they want. The last time I went to visit my grandma, I think before Christmas, when I showed up, she had asked one of her daughter's friends to please make me a pie for when I came over to visit, and it wasn't a pie I had ever even heard of, so it was like a coconut foam.
Goodness. Oh boy.
It was actually, but I was never gonna refuse to.
You would have never sought that out.
I am never gonna refuse to eat something with my loved ones, and I'm talking about my true family and my lifelong friends, not just everybody I know.
No, right.
But the lifelong friends that I still have from childhood, which is basically one, and my family, if they want to eat something and it means it's important to them to make a memory with me, I will never say no to that. I will make it up later, or make the best decisions of what I have. But when I see someone when my grandma says she wants to go to Dairy Queen, guess where we're going? I'm going to get an ice cream too.
Agreed.
But those are such rare one-offs.
No, they are.
That might be 12 times in a year, and that's...
But we are lucky enough right now, I think, thankfully lucky enough, to not have other bad habits or other comorbidities that we have to be so strict that we cannot go off the wagon, right? We luckily don't have the GI issues. We don't have the eczema. The worst that we have, I say we, is that I still have my allergies, and I'm working on that, and trying to get off of...
I'm not trying to take away from your allergies at all, but I truly believe that from what I can see, it seems like they've gotten a lot better.
Oh, they have. No, totally. My immune system, I can tell my immune system is working at peak. But back to what Julie said. Yeah, when our best friends, we go to Charlotte and she makes homemade cinnamon rolls, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tell her no. That happened a week ago. So
when we were home for Christmas.
A week and a couple of days. So,
and also when we travel, for pleasure, and we kind of travel because of his job. We travel equally for work as for pleasure. But when we travel for pleasure, if we're in a new culture, we try the food where we are. We went to Colombia in January of 2022. We had a guanabana, and we had all these cool Colombian desserts we'd never heard of. Loved them. Then we were in Mexico in the summer. That's where we found the birria, which is carnivore, by the way. When we travel and we go to a new place, we would never eat at a chain restaurant on a travel if at all possible.
if at all possible.
But if we're in a new country that we've never been to,
and may never go back to, we don't know. You know, you don't know if we'll ever be back.
But We go to New York City a couple times a year. Well, I'm gonna have a New York slice of cheesecake, and I'm gonna have a New York street pizza.
Yeah.
But those are extreme one-off examples of us eating things that we don't eat on a regular basis.
Do you get the feeling? I felt a little bit like this because I'm like you. One day, it seems like one day, our body will take it, say, screw this, and the next morning you get up and you feel normal. Whatever it is on that one day that you decide to do. If it's eat a nice meal but not snack, or if it's snack or have something sweet in the evening. But your body also begins to tell you, first of all, you weigh it in front of you. Is this worth eating? Because of how you think you're going to feel, or how you're actually going to feel, or what it may do to your GI. But after about the second day of that, it becomes this real issue of, I know this isn't worth it. I know it's not, but I know that I have loved ones around me, and I'm having a good time just like they are. But if I truly believe that if we were down here by ourselves, and
we are down here by ourselves.
Well,
Yeah.
Right. But if we were not visiting and having, my mother down here, I don't know when.
Oh, you're saying it would be seamless and smooth. We would never.
I don't know when we would slip on. I really don't. Honestly, I don't. I'm not saying I don't get some of those cravings, but like I'll give you the cinnamon roll example. That's one of my all-time favorites. And I was craving it so badly, and I knew that I thought in my head, if I don't get it when we go to our friends in Charlotte, that was the last night we had before we came back here, I'm going to have to find it somewhere down here. We're going to have to get them somewhere. And when it's in front of you, though, it's not that your brain's telling you it is, but once it's there, you're like, I know I don't need this.
This may sound silly, but for me, sometimes just looking at it and being able to smell it is like it hits the same pleasure center, but on a much smaller scale. And I can take a moment and evaluate. That's just same with my sweet potato tonight, which I had 4 bites of.
And that was just butter
but
and
I was
cinnamon.
looking at it, and I don't know why I ended up taking the 4 bites, because I finished my steak and I was full and I was satisfied and I wasn't craving it and I didn't even really want it. I was curious what it tasted like.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
And the 4 bites that I had were mostly as much of that melted butter with the cinnamon in it as I could get, because I love butter and I love cinnamon, and I use butter and cinnamon frequently. And that's it was about bite 3 that shouldn't have turned into bite 4, when I was like, wait a minute, I don't even want this potato. I don't know why I'm eating the potato. If I could just spoon off the melted butter with cinnamon in it, that's all that I really want.
It's it's those cannabinoid receptors, right?
Yes,
it's that
exactly.
pleasure center. It's the strongest drug. Sugar's the strongest drug out there. It's much stronger.
I can go to Publix and walk through the dessert and bakery section and look at all the delicious cakes and feel satisfied and not feel like I need to taste them or take one home. And that is it's weird.
It took a long time to get there.
Yeah,
it really did.
That doesn't
Please
come
don't
right
think
away.
we did this overnight. Like, this has been a year of on and off the wagon. Like, no joke. It really has. I think the first time in January, I believe, was almost 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to celebrate. My birthday's at the end of January. We didn't celebrate it. I think we pushed it into February. And at that point, I was struggling. I was like, there's something, And the first time, of course, is the hardest. And the first time sliding off and getting back on is the hardest. But I do believe, just like with anything else, right? Whether it's good or it's bad, your body becomes conditioned to take in what you have. And so, we know there are definites that we will never do, like a seed oil, if we can absolutely avoid it, regardless of who is in front of us. That's a big one, And so, anyway, I don't want to ramble on. It has been, it's been great. My joints have moved better than they did when I was in my 20s. Adding collagen has been excellent this year on my old soft tissue injury. So I've been extremely happy with performance. Now, sometimes my body doesn't want to convert that fat into energy as quickly as I would like it to. But I think that has more to do with that part of it taking its time before the body starts to respond optimally for multiple minutes, hours at a time, you know. But yeah,
I can't tell you how much better I feel when I'm relatively strict carnivore, and just compared to where I was more than a year now ago of eating what I call the standard American diet, which is, you know, minimize the meat and then minimize the fruit, lots of vegetables, and maybe bread wherever you fall on bread.
You and I weren't making horrible choices.
We weren't.
At the time.
When I say we were eating a standard American diet for the 36 years of my life before I went carnivore, and before Michael and I, when we met and we were eating out all the time, I was mostly eating what I thought were healthy things. I was eating a lot of wraps and bowls, like with lots and lots of vegetables in them, chicken, usually grilled chicken, salads. I lived on Tell that story. In my 20s, I lived on basically nothing but salads for a year, because I to this day I love salad. I do miss salad. I can be honest about that. A salad, and I never put dressing on it either, ever.
No,
I
she
used to
raw.
love a salad. As many vegetables and sticks, twigs, and stems as you can put in there, the better.
Well, we thought we needed the fiber, right? That's what
I
everybody
ate
told us.
nothing but salads for a year, and I gained so much weight. And I had no dressing on these salads. It was some fruit, not much fruit.
Your guts were just swelling up?
It was all vegetables, and I felt awful. And my guts felt, I won't get into details, my guts felt terrible, and I kept thinking, I need more fiber. I don't know how I could possibly eat more fiber, but I will. And my problems got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point that by the time Michael met me, I thought my knees were falling apart because I had much knee pain.
Yeah.
I was having so much hip pain, and I thought, well, this is what I get for choosing a career. Where I have to stand on my feet on asphalt floors for a year. I was only 32, and
but your knees.
But I was having so much issues with my intestines and so much issues with my knees and hips. And all of this went away when I went carnivore, and I didn't realize that going carnivore was going to fix these issues.
Oh no, me either.
Really, I kind of went carnivore just haphazardly, because I met somebody who was carnivore. I misunderstood her. I thought she said she was a cannibal, and I laughed at her. I laughed at her so hard until the second day in a row I saw her eating steak with nothing on it.
And you always
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we were nurses at work. And I was like, wow, I could really get on board with something, because I didn't think I was allowed to eat steak every day.
Too much cholesterol. Too much fat.
Oh my God, your cholesterol, your arteries.
Arteries, wow. Yeah.
Like, that's a treat. That's a rare treat. So she turned me on to doing my own research and sent me down the rabbit holes that when I had enough information to bring it up to Michael, he was like, absolutely not. But I was like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. This is what I'm choosing to do. You don't have to do it with me.
And then I went down the rabbit hole.
4 days later, I was in ketosis to the point I thought I was dying.
Same.
It was a big struggle. The first time it was a struggle to get into ketosis. It really was. But I've never looked back, because all of my issues have been, can I say, completely reversed? I never have knee pain. I never have hip pain, and my gut issues are completely healed.
Tell them how much better you're sleeping. You never dreamed before.
Oh my goodness, my sleep is so good now. I never dreamed in my life. If I did dream, I didn't remember it. I would wake up and think, why does everyone else get to dream and I don't? Now, I go on these crazy adventures. I'm disappointed when I wake up, because all night long I'm dreaming, and it's vivid. I can smell, and I can taste, I can hear, I can fly. Like, in my dreams, I'm having these wild, wild adventures. They're always so much fun. I never have nightmares. And when I wake up, I'm kind of bummed. It's like I finished a great movie and I have nothing else to watch.
Yeah, I get back to sleep much easier if for some reason I wake up.
My sleep is so good. Here I'm stumbling for words. This isn't a good example, but I feel so much more mentally clear than I did 10 years ago. I feel so much more just alive, and like I'm existing, like I'm present in the world. I feel so much more alive than I did 10 years ago.
I feel that even when you're in ketosis, when we go outside.
We're on our way home from dinner. We just had a big steak at Outback, and you can see that in the New Year's Eve vlog if you wanted to see it. But we got in one of our moods as we were driving away from the steakhouse, where we just started talking. We were trying to make a short little clip to go in the vlog, and we just went on and on and on about the carnivore diet, and I thought, you know what, this needs to be a video all its own, because we've said everything there is to say, I think. Tomorrow is January the 1st. January is considered World Carnivore Month. The carnivore community stole it from the vegan community, who was challenging everyone to call it Veganuary and go vegan for a month. So the carnivore community, we didn't want to be left out. We want to eat just as many animals as we possibly can.
That's right.
That's a joke. I don't mean that. But I was like, wow, if tomorrow begins World Carnivore Month, we need to just put all this footage together. And I'm afraid it's a little disorganized and flighty because we were just talking off the top of our head. We didn't have any notes. We didn't prepare for this in any way. We just turned the camera on and started rambling.
Oh, that's the best kind.
I know, it's the most authentic, just shooting from the cuff.
Yeah,
so we just wanted to tell you kind of our experiences with it. We've been mostly carnivore, although I will say we've been a little on and off throughout the year, but it seems like we're becoming more and more and more on.
True.
With carnivore, to the point now that we're committed to a carnivore January.
I think it starts as a love-hate relationship, but then you do finally, your brain kind of switches over and you begin to not see it as a lifestyle, just see it as your lifestyle. Not that it's something weird.
It's just what you do.
It's just what you do.
You don't put a lot of thought into it. You don't wake up in the morning thinking, oh God, I gotta eat another hamburger.
I did sometimes in 2022, when we first started. I did.
That'll be a thing you kind of power through, but there comes a point where it's like your brain has moved on beyond what am I going to eat today, and more of a how alive am I going to feel today, and how good am I going to feel today.
You're right. It switches from something you crave to, well, I have to do this because I know my body needs nutrients, but I'm going to go do this, this, and this today to get my pleasure, not out of eating, but out of the rest of my day.
Yeah, you'll be surprised when you are no longer eating for pleasure. That's not to say the food isn't delicious.
Oh, no.
But when you're no longer eating to satisfy whatever whack-a-mole in your brain is telling you, I gotta have sugar, I gotta have chips, I gotta have bread. When you're not eating to satisfy what's in your brain starts to find new ways to get stimulated and engaged. You feel so much more alive. So anyway, I apologize for the fact that this video is very long and it's super disorganized and rambly, but when I realized we were opening our hearts and being completely honest about how we live and what this diet has done for us, I thought this needs to be a standalone video all on its own. So I'm filming the intro after we have completely finished all of our clips, and we are almost home. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you have a great carnivore day.
Yep.
Eat the meat.
I think of the view from street level as the rain comes down tonight.
Woo! This is amazing, Connor! The crowd is electric, and I'm loving the energy. And speaking of amazing energy, our caramel party is back.
Hey, we're back again. Relaxing now. It's what, 8:08?
Just finished editing the vlog in time to see the beginning of the Rockin' New Year. Dick Clark, Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, the guide still says that it's Dick Clark's New Year's Eve rock and roll, and it's like, that's Ryan Seacrest. But we do not stay up and watch the ball drop.
We're way too old for that. Way too old.
But we wanted to see places that they're showing that we were there, just a few days ago. So we thought we'd watch it for a little while we continued to edit. We have one vlog that's going over, and then we're going to get today's up before we go lay down. So this is a little bit of entertainment. And we started watching a rom-com.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
I saw it in theaters with my mom when it came out like 10 years ago or so.
I've never seen it.
But at the time, I'd never been to New York City, and we just got, we've been to New York several times now, but we just got back from New York City last weekend. So it was super cool to see all the same Christmas decorations from 10 years ago that are in the city.
This is from 2012.
Some of them are still
You're right.
being used.
Yeah, some of the same ones are still being used. So it's a little bit of nostalgia for us. And I think we're going to...
We ought to end this vlog.
I think we're over an hour now or something like that. But we appreciate you coming along with us today. And again, as we finish the holidays, we hope you had a great holiday season. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, guys.
Thank you for watching. And I hope we see many more of you and put out just as good or better content next year.
Yeah. Have a good New Year's, guys. Be safe.
Yes.
Good luck on your resolutions tomorrow. And we'll see you in another
Day
vlog
one.
coming soon.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.